Yeah, if they're telling you that there's no clones, the guy telling you is probably a fucking clone. At this point, I have no doubt that they've made human clones. They made dog clones. You can get your dog cloned. If your dog's gonna die, you can get the DNA from your dog, get a fucking puppy, and it'll be eerily similar to your dog. They think including some personality traits, which is just very bizarre, very Pet Cemetery. Right. But if they can do that, why can't they do that to people? They can.
Jamie Foxx was seen trembling when the names finally leaked. It wasn't just a rumor anymore, it was a documented list of those who had been replaced. Joe Rogan didn't hold back, laying out the evidence that some of the biggest icons in the world are no longer who they claim to be. The reaction from Foxx was immediate and visceral, a complete breakdown that caught everyone off guard. He knew the spotlight was turning toward him, and the secrets he'd been keeping about his sudden disappearance were about to explode. The industry's darkest protocol was finally being dragged into the light of day.
Bonjour. Bonjour. Oh, it's a wonderful feeling. I really took on a pretty big challenge trying to do my speech in French. So, I wrote it and I researched it and I practiced it like crazy. But, it's, then I watched everybody talking 1,000 miles an hour up there, receiving their awards. And I was like, I'm dead.
Joe Rogan recently pulled back the curtain on a reality that most people are too terrified to even consider. He didn't just hint at it, he laid out a list of names that had the entire industry shaking in their boots. According to Rogan, the technology to clone living beings isn't just a science fiction fantasy anymore. We've been cloning pets for years, and the step up to humans is shorter than we think. When this list started circulating, the panic in Hollywood was palpable. It wasn't just about science, it was about who is actually running the show behind the scenes.
In the streets, you need a date to the party? What's up?
No. I'm doing just fine. I just, there's no meaning to any of this. So I wanted to find the most meaningless thing that I could come to and join, and here I am.
They're celebrating.
You got to admit it's completely meaningless.
Well, they say they're celebrating icons inside.
Celebrating
Do you believe
icons,
in icons?
boy, that is just the absolute lowest aiming, possibility that we could come up with. It's like icons. Do you believe in icons? I don't believe in personalities. I don't believe that you exist, but there is a wonderful fragrance in the air.
You don't believe certain icons have the power to make change, to think differently, to be bold, to inspire others? Artistry? You're one of them.
On the good foot. Ha! Yeah. You shut her down now. Yeah, no, I don't believe in icons. I don't believe in personalities. I believe that peace lies beyond personality, beyond invention and disguise, beyond the red S that you wear on your chest that makes bullets bounce off. I believe that it's deeper than that. I believe we're a field of energy dancing for itself. And I don't care.
But Jim, you got really dressed up for the occasion. You look good.
No, I didn't get dressed up. I didn't get dressed up.
Who did?
There is no me.
There's no you.
No.
We're not here.
The first major red flag came from Paris, where Jim Carrey appeared at the 2026 Caesar Awards. Fans were stunned because this wasn't the Jim Carrey they knew. He looked decades younger, his skin was suspiciously smooth, and his entire bone structure seemed to have shifted. For years, Carrey had been the industry's loudest critic, calling award shows meaningless and exposing the dark rituals of the elite. But suddenly, he was back on stage beaming with joy and praising the very system he once claimed to despise. The transformation was so jarring that people started asking if the real Jim was gone for good.
There is a huge conspiracy theory about beloved Hollywood actor Jim Carrey right now because people are saying he's acting and looking very different. Did the Illuminati finally get their loudest whistleblower and clone him, thus silencing him? This is like two conspiracy theories in one, so here's everything you need to know.
I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower.
So yesterday, 64-year-old Jim Carrey received a Caesar Award in Paris, which is like a French Oscar. And he was just suspiciously acting out of character for the iconic Jim Carrey personality. And longtime fans also noticed he looked younger or very different. And for a lot of actors in Hollywood, that's the norm. He's 64. I support people getting work done. But a lot of conspiracy theorists who are really just diehard fans say normally Jim Carrey would never do this. His whole brand is drastically changing his facial expressions and melding his face into whatever he needs to do for his role. It's just the last person you would ever expect to do that. But what's really freaking people out and driving home the conspiracy theory is that his eyes are a completely different color now. They are green, but they used to be very obviously brown. Is it him? Is someone new under the mask? And Jim Carrey is infamous for his whole career long time giving very powerful speeches against government corruption, against capitalism, against those in power.
If you look closely at the footage, the physical discrepancies are impossible to ignore. Carrey's eyes, which were famously brown for his entire career, appeared to be a piercing green during his French debut. Plastic surgery can do a lot of things, but it cannot change the fundamental color of your irises. Even his mannerisms were off, lacking the rubber-faced energy that made him a legend. It felt like someone was wearing a Jim Carrey mask, trying their best to imitate him, but failing at the most basic level. This wasn't just aging, it was a complete biological overhaul that defied explanation.
Now, we were talking about Jim's problem with the as he calls them, the stockerazzi.
This is the
because
Before this strange reappearance, Jim Carrey was deep into a spiritual awakening that terrified the studios. He was telling anyone who would listen that there is no me, and that the industry is just a field of energy dancing for itself. He stopped attending parties and started blowing the lid off what he called the all-mocking tongue. He warned us that celebrities are hired by the government to distract the masses and keep them docile. Then he vanished from the public eye for months. When he returned, the radical philosopher was gone, replaced by a compliant puppet who loved every second of the limelight.
stock you. He coined that. He came up with that.
Yeah.
So how do you handle it? What is the solution? Because a lot of folks would be interested in this. What do you do?
I've done this a few times now, and it's using a decoy.
I'm sorry, a decoy.
Using a decoy. It sounds so ridiculous, but it works like a charm.
like a double.
It's fantastic.
Like a Jim Carrey double.
A Jim Carrey double.
Oh, yeah, that's amazing.
So what I do is I send him off in one direction, sucks all the press in that direction, and I can just have my day. And
whatever you want to
go
do.
wherever I want, totally unmolested. It's fantastic.
Right.
And,
well, they say the best ideas are the simplest ones, and this really couldn't be more.
The conspiracy theories gained massive traction because Carrey himself once admitted to using decoys. He joked in an old interview about sending a double in one direction to distract the press while he went the other way. He called it a Jim Carrey double and said it was a simple, effective solution to being hounded by the media. But fans are now wondering if that simple idea was taken to a more sinister level. Using a body double for a day is one thing, but being replaced permanently by a biological clone is a nightmare scenario that many believe is now standard practice in the hills of Hollywood.
Is that a gang sign? Have you,
oh, like you don't know what it is. You don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
You don't know. Jimmy Fallon doesn't know. David Letterman doesn't know.
We don't know.
All the comics and show business don't know what this is. Right? Yeah.
What is it?
Come on, Jimmy. Seriously, the time is up. People are hip to this kind of stuff. I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower. I'm sick and tired of the secrets and the lies. It is the secret symbol of the Illuminati, and you're a part of it, and it is the all-mocking tongue.
Oh, I like it. It is a scraping.
It's the symbol of the all-mocking tongue. And I'm sick of it. I want everybody to be in on the joke, man. You know what I mean? For years now, talk show hosts, people on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to throw you off the track, to distract you, to make you laugh and stuff like that, make you happy and docile so you don't know what's really going on. You know, and they get out there in the woods in a circle naked and they decide these things and, you know, and look at them trying to...
This pattern of behavior perfectly mirrors what we saw with Kanye West. Before his most recent disappearance, Kanye was on a warpath, exposing his personal trainer as an MK Ultra operative with ties to the Canadian military. He told the world that they were trying to medicate him into silence and that if he ever came back looking different, it wasn't him. He literally told us to watch for the signs. Shortly after those statements, he vanished, only to return with a completely different physique, a new wife, and a total shift in his public rhetoric. He became the very thing he warned us about.
The real, not the phony. The phony will clone me. Just watch how they cloned me. Hey, look at me, show me.
I was yay, and then they started making more yays.
I think Kanye is a clone. I wholeheartedly believe what I'm about to say. I think there are clones, and I'm going to tell you why. Remember, he was really talking a lot. The cabal didn't like that, you know? The Illuminati, the cabal, they did not like how much he was saying. He was calling a lot of people out, and he said, if I go away and I come back and I look different, that is not me.
If I ever went anywhere, we know why.
What the happened? He was gone.
He did that because he wanted to gain weight. I would do that too. I'm going to do that next summer.
Look at him. Compare old photos of him. It's not the same in person. It's not. Don't cancel me, Hollywood.
How do you think that these people would hide that, Kristen? If somebody tried to clone you, I would scream it from the top of the mountains like that's not Kristen.
You literally will get...
Oh my goodness gracious.
I believe this with...
Kanye's warnings about the cloning labs used to sound like the ramblings of a man in crisis, but now they sound like a prophecy. He claimed the industry was trying to make more yays to maintain control over his brand. When he finally resurfaced, his behavior with Bianca Censori was so out of character that even his most loyal fans were spooked. He was doing things he previously swore he would never do, and his physical appearance seemed to fluctuate by the week. It was as if the clone was struggling to maintain the original's likeness, leading to the bizarre public displays we see today.
I'd be dead, not in jail, because I'd rather be dead than to be on medication. No one from the family has taken any responsibility for my hospital visit, but if we were to go online, that's 50% of what people say at least. Or maybe, am I lying?
It doesn't matter.
Am I lying? It do matter! It do matter! It do matter!
What is more than you just said, you know?
I haven't finished the sentence.
It does matter!
It matters to us and you. It doesn't matter what the internet says. It matters what we think. Yay.
So what do you think? Did you have an effect on my mental health?
Yes. 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 I'm saying yes. And I love you. I love you. I don't want you to be not perfect. I love you. And I want my daughter to love you the way you want her to love you.
The situation reached a boiling point when Jamie Foxx entered the conversation. Jamie's sudden health crisis last year was shrouded in mystery from day one. He was hospitalized right as the legal walls were closing in on Diddy, a man Jamie had been closely associated with for years. To this day, we haven't received a clear medical explanation for what happened to him. He was just gone, and then he was back. But the man who returned didn't quite match the man who left. The timing was too perfect, and the silence from his camp was deafening to those who know how the industry works.
Diddy has a clone. Apparently there's this thing spreading around where people are saying that the person that's actually in jail is not the real Diddy. Let me catch you up to speed. This is a real photo of Diddy. Notice the markings on his face. They're very prominent and they are from the real Diddy. However, in this mugshot right here, you do not see these markings at all. So people are claiming that whoever is in jail, allegedly, supposedly, is not the real Diddy. This photo always terrified me. There's just something off about this photo. To make matters even more weird, Diddy's private jet is still flying around as we speak and making stops in various locations around the world. Just a few days ago, his private jet was spotted at Auckland Airport, a spot normally reserved for private aircraft. This is from the account Celebrity Jets. They're actually tracking P. Diddy's private jet flight path. And this is when it was landing at New Zealand. And 2 days ago, it was at Honolulu, Hawaii. This is the actual private jet that Diddy owned. And you can see him getting off this private jet here. So
Cat Williams, never one to bite his tongue, was the first to publicly call out the discrepancy in Jamie Foxx's appearance. During a recent interview, Williams claimed that the new Jamie Foxx was missing a very specific tattoo on the back of his head. He also pointed out that the current version of Jamie has a face full of freckles that were never there during his decades-long career. Williams didn't mince words, stating that the clone was stupid as hell because it kept messing up the details. He suggested that the real Jamie Foxx was caught up in the Diddy fallout and was dealt with.
Now I want to hear from you. Do you think this is all coincidence and internet myth-making? Or do you believe something bigger is happening in Hollywood? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you made it this far, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications.
The freckle observation by Cat Williams sent the internet into a frenzy. Fans started digging through old high-definition photos of Jamie from the last 20 years, and the results were shocking. The smooth-complexioned actor we knew for years suddenly appeared with distinct facial markings after his recovery. While some argue it could be a side effect of medication or a skin condition, others believe it's a clear sign of a biological mismatch. When Rogan brought this up on his podcast, it supposedly triggered the massive meltdown Jamie had behind the scenes, as the secret was becoming too big to contain. Jamie Foxx has always been an elite impersonator, but critics say he is now the one being impersonated. The rumor is that his meltdown occurred when he realized the public was no longer buying the story. Being accused of being a clone is a special kind of psychological torture, especially if there is truth to the idea that your life has been co-opted. If the real Jamie is indeed being held or has been silenced, the entity walking around in his place is under immense pressure to perform. Any slip-up, like a missing tattoo or a new set of freckles, could bring the whole house of cards down. Joe Rogan's deep dive into the technology of cloning has made these theories feel much more grounded in reality. Rogan pointed out that we have the DNA technology to clone dogs and even replicate some of their personality traits. If a billionaire can get a eerily similar version of their dead puppy, why wouldn't a billion-dollar industry do the same for its most valuable human assets? The cost of a celebrity dying or becoming unmanageable is too high for the studios to bear. In their eyes, a clone is just a more reliable version of a troublesome employee who knows too much. The Diddy connection adds a layer of legal intrigue to the cloning narrative. There are whispers that the person currently sitting in a jail cell isn't the real Sean Combs. Fans have analyzed the mugshots and jailhouse photos, noting that the bone structure and facial markings don't align with the Diddy we've seen for years. At the same time, his private jet has been tracked flying all over the world, making stops in New Zealand and the Caribbean. If Diddy is in jail, who is using his plane? The theory is that a clone is serving the sentence while the real mogul is on the run. This isn't just a niche internet theory anymore. Other celebrities are starting to voice their concerns. Megan Fox took to Instagram to express her stress over the situation, asking if the cloning rumors were real. When the people inside the industry are scared, the rest of us should probably pay attention. They see things we don't, and they know the capabilities of the people in power. The fact that high-profile stars are questioning the biological authenticity of their peers suggests that there is a very real, very dark protocol being executed in the shadows of the entertainment world. The all-mocking tongue that Jim Carrey mentioned is a symbol that keeps popping up in these discussions. It's allegedly a sign used by the elite to signal their involvement in these control programs. Carrey warned that late-night hosts and sitcom stars are hired to distract us and make us docile so we don't notice the circles they form in the woods. When these stars stop playing ball, they are removed. The new versions of them always seem to be much more cooperative, never mentioning the Illuminati or secret government programs ever again. They just smile and sell the product. Jamie Foxx's disappearance right as Diddy was being taken down is the most suspicious part of his story. Many believe Jamie was a witness to things that the industry couldn't allow to be made public. His medical emergency served as the perfect cover to take him off the board and reprogram or replace him. The fact that he hasn't given a single detailed interview about what actually happened to his health only fuels the fire. He went from being a vocal, energetic presence to a man who seems to be walking on eggshells, terrified that his next move might expose the truth. The psychological toll of this system is unfathomable. Imagine being told that you are replaceable, not just professionally, but biologically. Kanye West fought against this with everything he had, even risking his entire fortune and reputation to blow the whistle. He knew the clones were coming for his legacy. Now seeing Jamie Foxx allegedly struggling with the same fate is a grim reminder of how the industry handles its biggest stars. They are assets to be managed, and if the original asset becomes a liability, the lab is always ready to produce a fresh, more obedient version. Rogan's clone list is more than just a list of names, it's a map of how the industry has changed. It highlights the moment each celebrity turned from a rebel into a company man. For Jim Carrey, it was the 2026 awards. For Kanye, it was his 2022 disappearance. For Jamie Foxx, it was the mysterious hospital visit. Each one followed the same playbook, a public outburst, a period of isolation, and a return with a new face and a new attitude. This isn't a coincidence. It's a systematic process of elimination and replacement designed to keep the status quo intact. The evidence of Diddy's ghost plane suggests that the elite have resources we can barely imagine. Tracking a private jet is easy, but explaining why it's moving while the owner is supposedly behind bars is much harder. If they can swap out a man in a high-security prison, swapping out an actor on a movie set is child's play. The technology is there, the motive is there, and the secrecy of the industry provides the perfect cover. We are living in an era where seeing isn't necessarily believing, and the people we admire might just be empty vessels for someone else's agenda. Even the way these celebrities talk has changed. The clones often use repetitive language and seem to lack the wit or nuance of the originals. Jim Carrey's recent interviews are filled with platitudes about how much he loves the industry, a total 180 from his previous meaningless rants. Jamie Foxx, once a master of sharp improvisational comedy, now seems guarded and scripted. It's as if they are operating on a limited set of instructions, terrified of deviating from the path their handlers have set for them. The spark of the original human is simply missing from their eyes. Cat Williams warned us that the truth would come out in 2024, and it seems he was right. The walls are crumbling, and the secrets of the elite are being exposed by the very people they tried to silence. Whether it's through Joe Rogan's platform or the bold claims of stars like Cat Williams, the public is finally waking up to the reality of Hollywood's dark side. The meltdown Jamie Foxx reportedly suffered is a sign that the pressure is working. The truth is becoming harder to hide, and the people who were replaced are starting to show their seams. In the end, we have to ask ourselves what we are actually watching when we turn on the TV. Are we seeing the talented individuals who worked their way to the top, or are we seeing biological shells designed to keep us entertained and distracted? The evidence of cloning in Hollywood is mounting, and the stories of Jim Carrey, Kanye West, and Jamie Foxx are just the tip of the iceberg. As more names from Rogan's list come to light, the industry will have to face a reckoning. The era of the puppet master is coming to an end, and the real truth is finally breaking through.